All right. Good evening. Good evening. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. And as always, what we're going to do right now is we're going to play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment and let everyone know that we are live streaming. We need some people to watch this. All right. It's not doing this because we don't have anything to, I guess it really
is our Tuesday,
Hey, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
The Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own Emancipation Proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful. Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. And our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live. We stream live from Mont Branch Library, and we come here to talk about the things that we've done last week the things that we're working on right now, and some of the things that's coming up in the very near future. Let's start with some intros, and then we're going to get into our mission statement and guiding principles. And we've got some good guests. All of our guests are good. I can't say we got good guests, all right, but we got some guests coming into the green room within the next few minutes. Let's start with some intros. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN, along with Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey, and a 33-year member of the Nation of Islam and a 2-year member of the NAACP. So I guess I'm kind of working all my angles today. Hey, what am I wearing today? I've got on my glasses from Optical, Twix in Between, Christian Moncrief. I got these glasses maybe a couple of years ago, so I'm going to need another pair from Christian Moncrief. She has the Optical bus, and I guess if I say that one more time, I'll get that 20% discount from Optical, Twix in Between. The glasses that I'm wearing right now came from her van. They're awesome. I get a lot of compliments on them, so I'm looking forward to getting my 20% or 30%. I don't know. Even if she want to give me half off, I ain't going to fight her. What am I wearing? I've got a New York shirt on today. Kind of was dressing down at work today. Blue hat. I've got my beads on. And as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter and Justice or Else. And we are enjoying our 10-year victory lap this year, 2014. Jody's going to talk about that a bit within our mission statement. But 10 years, Jody. All right.
Very long time.
Yeah, it is. It is. And shout out to everyone that's been a part of this journey and that continues to be a part of speaking truth to power, no matter whom or what. We do want the smoke. We do pull up. You could argue with your mama on that. All right. Really, for real. So if you could introduce yourself, what are you wearing? We'll get right into our mission statement. I'll follow up with the guiding principles, and we'll get this going.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken Truth, the treasurer of this wonderful organization that keeps going on and on and on and on, like the Energizer Bunny, only blacker.
Okay, all right.
But I'm here, you see me outside, you see us doing stuff in the community, and I'm just, started out as an average guy on the streets. Well, not on the streets, but, average guy just coming into an organization, and like Brother Washington said, found words that brought truth to power, and found myself along in the process. For those of you listening out there, that join us every single week, which is, a very interesting task as people are starting up podcasts and seeing how it goes, doing something weekly, no matter what it is, even poetry events or outing events for a community and stuff. Doing it every week is a mission to undertake. And I can say I'm glad to have taken on this journey. If you're out there listening, whether it's on Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, we describe ourselves because we want you to know that who you're talking to. You just maybe turn it on, throw us in the corner somewhere like,
that's right,
be listening while I'm doing my dishes and stuff like that. But I am a big brown bear, a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and stones and bones and artifacts from living life as I see fit and trying to make the best of it. I keep the people that connect with me on deeper levels, those around my neck, those on my wrist, are people that I've actually met. I ain't go Instacarting or Amazon or click and buy. It's actually somebody who may not be there with me when I'm performing or on stage, but in essence, they are there too. So even if they're no longer here, like a few people around my neck, they get to experience the journey on some astro plane or something like that and say, I'm glad I met you. What I'm wearing is, my average everyday super suit, double button up, changes colors and stuff like that, but it's still the same buttons. Years ago, I used to wear so many activist buttons and scale down. I used to wear these wristbands that before I even had to say who I was, they told you just about everything around me. Now they've switched over to like beads.
Oh, okay, I see that. All right, I just noticed that. All right, that's what's up.
things have changed. You actually, because when I had the wristbands on, you couldn't see the Toledo tatted across my arm twice, but now you can. It's kind of like a reveal as you get more comfortable with things and stuff like that. You let a lot of yourself be more vulnerable, I guess you could say.
Okay, all right. I rock with that.
Yeah, stick in the back, hat on my head. It's about to be hoodie season. So
That's right.
you know, if you want to get the best art hoodie in the country, maybe the world, 'cause I don't really know any other artists that literally take their art and put it on a hoodie and then give you a special message on the back. Or if you wanted to do advertising that is one of a kind, signed, autographed, and personalized to you, hoodie season is coming.
That's right.
Shameless plug. But yeah, and how do you get there? You know, doing the organization. Some people don't even do things 90 days to see if it works. And that is one of the catalysts to see if you can change your mindset or restructure the process in your brain of where something becomes routine. And we've been at this for a decade. So
that's right.
I think we're kind of used to it. I always love to see guests when they come in here and sit in this seat right here. It's like, I'm nervous, like you shouldn't be.
That's right.
Then I have to take myself back to when I first started doing this. And I was reading off paper, hiding in corners, trying to absorb as much as I can before I got on stage. And now I get on stage and I just talk fluently like you're my neighbor.
That's right.
That is a very difficult task to do, but here's how you get there, because we have a mission statement.
And we follow up with our guiding principles,
which is like the foundation and the walls of this very sturdy house that we're trying to keep going for the next generation, so they don't have to, you know, trip over mistakes and mishaps that our ancestors and our parents and grandparents forgot to tell us because they were so busy trying to survive. But we are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer, Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. Police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, civic disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
All right, and a big shout out to Yvette Muhammad that helped us with craft that mission statement. I think that was in 2000, maybe early 2015.
Yeah,
because we started this in 2014. Had a couple of months just figuring all of this out.
Yep. Meeting with random people at libraries and there's some other places that we met, but we weren't organized. We were just not angry. We were some upset people who wanted to see change, maybe not knowing how to get there, but in that process of like that 3 months I was talking about, you figure out whether you really want to do it or not.
All right. And once you figure out if you're going to do it or not, we have to have something that's going to keep us accountable to each other, because we have all of the top activists in the city coming together, which is a problem in itself. All right. We're just, it's a pro. We all
have our agendas. We all have our specific things. We stood on Black. Not everybody does that.
Yeah. And we did. Right. And we did. These are our guiding principles. All Black lives matter. Queer Black lives. trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing or one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Hey, Jody, we're going to take a short break right now. And when we come back, we'll either get started with our guests or we'll talk about how the tank was voted down. We'll talk about the charges dropped against our brother Brandon Upchurch. We had a book bag giveaway, and we even had the R&B Park Jam. So we got a lot that we want to a lot we want to process. Hey, listen, this is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant, inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober-safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
Hey, I'm Dr. P. Not only am I a leadership coach, I'm a change agent, and I'm a race scholar. I've used my study of race to dismantle systems and organizations, but I also use that to help you as the individual become a better leader for your families and for your community.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. And shout out to the staff at Mott Branch every week they roll out the red, black, and green carpet for us. They make sure that our studio is ready to be made a studio. And maybe one day we'll do one of those time lapse things where people can see what this room looks like before and then kind of during, putting it all together, and then, how it's a really revolutionary space. Hey, welcome again. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. And I don't know if I mentioned earlier that it was Mike Leonardi and Jabril Bey in November of 2014, or maybe even a little bit earlier. We were meeting at Jabril's house. Well, first, Mike was meeting at Jabril's house along with some other people, just talking about different ways that you can advocate for yourself, because every time we would call on the preachers, the politicians, the pastors, they'd had to check in with somebody. And then by the time they came back with the answer, which would probably be no, whatever was happening is already gone. And we needed to find another way forward to really get the word out about things that are happening. And listen, what we wanted to do first is really talk about the Park Jam. You were there, Jody. We have one of the primary organizers. The title of the company is TRL. All right, we got the L. All right, we got the L. Not the L as in lost, but L as in Lance. All right, yeah. Lance is in the green room, and every time we have someone in the green room, there's always something that they could just walk to the refrigerator and get. Well, as long as they don't drink up all the the burners.
Yeah, the burners in the green room.
Yeah, we have to tax them for that. But yeah, this before we bring him on, I really want to just say I was thoroughly impressed with everything. The way it rolled out. I was impressed with some of the short clips earlier in the day. Yeah. Man, look, if anybody got anything negative to say, do your Park Jam. No, I would say you do a Park Jam.
Right.
All right.
But it was a whole extravaganza. They had yoga in the park.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm done.
The day after, it wasn't just the jam. So.
Right. Hey, let's bring him on. All right, because we'll be talking all night. The man is here, but we talked about the man, and the man is here. Let's bring him in. This is our brother Lance Self. How you doing, my brother?
Man, it is an honor. Thank you guys for having me. I love you both. What's going on, everybody?
Oh man,
love you too, brother.
Hey, every once in a while, there's some terrific things that are happening in the city.
Yeah.
And sometime after those things happen, we just go back to normal. And we don't realize that we just witnessed greatness. And we're not going to just witness greatness and not talk about it.
That's facts.
And let me add this one. Right. And if something that Jody and I were to do that didn't work out right, and we had to bail him out, we'd be talking about that every day.
Man.
We'd be talking about it every day. So unfortunately, sometimes when it's negative, we'll talk about it week to week to week. But when you have something that I saw from multiple sides, I saw I dropped into my Brent's library and I saw Tracy at a computer, just doing whatever the heck he does. All right. Working, man. And look, working in humility.
Yeah, man.
You would look, but him sitting at you would never know what he got cooking.
Man, one thing about Tracy, he has the amount of work that he has put into this. There's so much stuff that even I don't even see that he's doing, and it's working with him. It's always a blessing, man. It's always fun. He makes me better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I wanted to get into that. Okay. The company's name is TRL.
Yes.
What was it that made the three of you form this and get it started like that?
Well, we started this about this one was our third Park Jam event. So the first year we just came together to wanting to do a community event of showcasing the talents behind it, coming together. And then as we continually grow, like the very first year we did this, we only had 300-400 people. And then each time we did it, it continually grows. So we had to become a team together. TRL, Tracy, Ryan, Lance, and myself, we worked so well together. Like Tracy handled his part. He handles the administration, the stuff, the behind the scenes, the stuff that nobody sees. Ryan take care of all the music part of it. Myself, I handled the sponsors, the corporations. So we all came together, and we actually worked great together. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very rare finding 3 black men working as good as we all working together without everybody having to step into over somebody's toes. Just do your thing and let's make it happen. And we do that.
And you know, that's one of the things that we wanted to highlight, because us as men working together.
Yeah.
You know, I've had the opportunity to work with Jody over the past 10 years, and we have a similar relationship. There are certain things that I can count on him to do to make this thing happen. It's not easy to have activists come together, form their own thing without us fighting and imploding. But we have a special lane, a special groove that we do, that I'm going to do the stuff that I know I can do.
Right.
Jody's going to bring everything else in. So it's like this. If things work out well, we just give praise to each other. If it don't work out well, we know that was Jody's fault. Somebody gotta fit under that bus, all right? Somebody got to take it. That's how it goes. Right. And I just want to highlight the strength of black men coming together. The way that you all come together. I've seen us come together, and it doesn't work well because some of us don't have the emotional maturity to accept that I'm working with a God. I may be working with the God of sponsorship. I may be working with the God of entertainment or the God of administrative. And I got to reckon, and I got to bow down to that.
Yeah, man.
You know, I got to bow down to that. So us having you on today is us bowing down to that.
We thank y'all. Your support through the years, Jody, you two have always supported us. When I say we could not have even made it this far without the two of you. So let me give you some flowers right now and say thank you truly. Each and every year, y'all have us back. Each and every year, y'all support us. It's an honor having y'all support always. So I love it, man. I just love it.
All right. Well, I've never seen Jody, the spoken word person, short for words before.
That's my guy, Jody. What's up, brother?
Yeah. Hey. Y'all did an amazing job, like from front to end. And I think a lot of people don't realize it wasn't just the park jam. It was yoga. It was a skate thing. It was a whole weekend plan that just doesn't come together overnight.
Yeah, that's one thing we're trying to lead for. One thing Tracy will always say, we got the same page of what our goal, what our vision is. Our vision is to bring parades, to bring like the Essen Festival style. Each day having a different event, each day having different musicians. So that's ultimately what our goal is. That's where we're trying to grow to. And each year we're hoping to lead to that. We're trying to bring the Essen Festival right to Toledo, Ohio, our own way. So that's how we're trying to grow, man. Each year we plan to get us there.
Now, one thing that I got a chance to see that you may have not had a chance to see on Lance was being in the line and hearing people talk about what they believe they're going to hear. Being in the line and hearing about what people believe they're going to see. It was, and being in the line, and there's people that are older like myself, and there's some young people in the line, and you all created a vibe, man. It was a real thing.
Yeah.
And I like to gauge things by the attitude of the people in the line coming up. And I want to give another shout out to those who were on security.
Magic Wand, I saw him out
there.
there.
I had
the one. They did their thing. They definitely. I can't express the help that there was, but they did their thing.
Yeah.
OCD for cleanup.
Yeah, we was there. We was all we got the cleanup from the cleanup crew to the security. Everybody did their thing. The team came together, man.
And I say it just shows how the way that you, Ryan, and Tracy have decided that you know what you do, so you involve others that you trust them to do what they say they're going to do.
Yeah,
most likely you've seen them do it before.
Correct.
So we could trust that you're going to do it again. And one of the things that we've always dealt with CSRN is making sure that we get some references of the people that we say they're going to do something. I just can't trust someone to do something that I've never seen you do it before.
Yeah, let's see your track history. Yeah.
I love you, Lance, but I can't rent a VCR from Rent-A-Center without some references. All right? So why am I going to trust so much with someone without references? And I think that sometimes that may strain a lot of relationships too. Correct. When we give that type of trust thing. All right. My next thing I wanted to ask you is, how did you go about the talent? The local talent killed it. Adina killed it. Man, she got good knees. All right. My wife was like,
"I'm like, country got this woman out there doing the good knees." I'm like, "Country, what are you doing, boy?"
Look, my wife was like, "What
are you doing?"
My knees. I'm like, "Well, I don't know if you can do that."
Man.
And honey, if you're watching this, if you're watching this, I'm gonna take you to Taylor Hyundai and get you a new car.
Come and see me. I got you. But
good looking. I'll be sleeping in it. That's for sure. Man. All right. How did that come about? That it is the right talent or the vibe? How did that go about?
First, starting with coming up with the main artists that came, the artists that came. We came together of who we thought Toledo wanted to see from different vibes, different genres.
Yeah.
90s, early 2000s, Adina Howard.
Damn,
so we came up with her because we knew her music is everlasting. Like the moment she came up with Nasty Grind, the whole crowd, everybody going crazy. And we came up with Bobby V because he's accessible and they love him.
Yeah.
Like Sammy, old school. Coming up with the artists it's hard to answer that question of how they came about. Because it was just picking up who would bring out who people want to see, because we actually made a status too, asking who do you want to see. Everybody comment Case, they comment Dina, they comment Bobby V. So we write these down. We like, okay, so this is what people want to see. Let's see who we can afford. Let's get them all out, and it came together, and they all had a similar knowing of each other. So the booking, the contacts made it a lot easier too. As far as a local talent is always, it's like a mild audition to see who can do the stage.
Yeah,
we did that, and Sasha, they always bring it.
Man.
Like they're next up here from Ohio. They are next up for sure.
Man.
The local talent, they ain't there. Blew everybody out.
Look, when we got there, all right, I got there a little late because Yvette, my wife, it is what it is. All right.
Yeah.
So when we got there, I'm like, okay, the local talent sounds like the headline of professional talent,
right?
So am I late? Did they start earlier? Do black people start super early now? What the hell is this? What's going on? So I'm just saying that what you have is working.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What you have is working, and
anything outside the gate don't matter.
Man, look. Well, and look,
we learning that for sure.
Yeah, and if you didn't have haters, you wouldn't be doing it right.
They're going to come. If nobody hating on us, then I guess we're not working hard enough.
Yeah, and also, and I got just a couple other things, Lance, and then, all right. I think that sometimes there's that iceberg theory. You know, you see that small part, all right, but you don't see the big part underneath.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes there's a lot of things that didn't happen that night, and we should be proud of that. We could go on and talk about some of the things that didn't happen.
Yeah, let's talk about it. There's
a lot of things. Look, there's a lot of things that you didn't see.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but we don't want to talk about the things that we didn't see.
We don't want to shine a light on it. Yeah.
So I want to start first by
food truck placement was good.
Yeah, but here's some of the things.
The food truck placement was good.
Oh yeah, man. We changed that up we had to change it up from how we did it the previous year, because from the seating and the stage, and try to make it a little easier for everybody. Everything is always about learning and growing. Did we do it perfectly the first time? No, heck, we didn't do it perfectly this time. But we definitely want to keep on growing, keep on getting to that element of perfection. So we're striving for it.
And that perfection is it's a fleeting thing.
Correct.
But what I liked about the Park Jam, if I'm looking at it with Lance's eyes, is that we got some data. All right, we got some data to compare, to look at for next year.
Correct.
You could easily not do anything and have no data.
Correct.
All right, but we gotta we gotta get started. So no matter how it turns out, we started with a good heart. All right. We started with 3 people that really love what they do, and we combine forces to do this. Now, after we're gonna plus delta it. We do this after we have a political forum, if we have a protest, or if this Jody decides to have a riot. After we're done with the riot, after we're done, you know who the boss is. The boss is whoever they talk about the most. All right,
man.
Just in case the man is watching. But we're gonna look at what did we do well, what could we do better.
Yeah.
All right. And there's the fact that we jumped off the porch is a statement of faith, because most of us may not want to come together.
Yeah, man.
And say that we want to do something because I don't want to do it because what happened if it don't work? Okay, so we continue not doing anything. So shout out to you, Ryan, and Tracy for coming off the porch again. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's for
next year. We may be taking a bigger dive. We definitely gonna need Toledo's support from what our goal and what our vision is. So
I believe that Toledo is behind you.
Yeah, thank you.
We've seen other people that have tried to do that, but I think that you got to start from the right spirit.
Yeah, man.
All right. I just can't say I want to do something and think that people are gonna rock with me.
Yeah, man.
You
gotta
really
show them.
You gotta show. Yeah, you gotta pop out.
You gotta show for sure.
Yeah, and
thank you.
Like so you got to have some history.
Yeah.
And whatever you all do, you have a beautiful brand now.
Thank you.
All right, you have a
know what it can receive.
Look forward to seeing y'all going 20 years down the road. The weekend.
Be looking back, baby.
TRL. That's right. I wanted to put this up. All right. This was the flyer that was getting everybody's attention. It's a beautiful flyer. Also, you got CSRN as one of the sponsors, on there, shout us out. But like I say, man, this was marvelously done.
Thank you.
At the highest level, man, at the highest level. I think if I could say one of my things that I like to do is plan things. All right. Jody does what he does because he can connect with anybody. Jody's gift from my standpoint, he doesn't have to wear a suit to walk into those rooms. All right.
Yeah, that press for sure.
Yeah, man.
That's my guy. Joey, we love you, brother. We love you. What over there? What are you doing, man? What are you doing, Jody? What are you doing?
Yeah.
Trying to make sure Toledo stays in all the positive comments.
Yeah. Well, good luck with that. Yeah, that's a full-time job right there.
Good luck, brother.
And also some full disclosure.
Okay.
CSRN would not be a part of this were it not for Jody. There's a lot of things that happen that's off of my radar. It's off of our radar.
We thank y'all so much.
It's not off of Jody's. And it's because of Jody that we have this sense of being relevant. It's because of Jody that we're known for more things in the community rather than just we're gonna pull up at some politician's house, which we still can. All right, I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to that. All right,
but there's so much more than that for sure.
It's so much more, and that's where you come in. All right, now, all right. Here's another question that we always ask. Oh, we didn't ask him what he was wearing. Can I do that now?
Yeah.
All right.
To the viewers at home that's listening.
All right. One of the if it sounds like I'm super happy, I am, because it's just meeting you. And he's one of the Black Lives Matter Award recipients. All right.
I know.
All right, man. This is full circle stuff.
Full circle, baby. That's how it always starts, man. That's full circle for you. Full circle.
Man, I hate that I didn't vote for him. It's all good.
You, brother.
Thanks. What I wanted to ask is one of the there's a CSRN tradition that we ask who you are and what are you wearing, because some of our people may be sight impaired and they can listen to us, but they may not get a good feeling of what we look like and what we're wearing. So, brother, who are you and what are you wearing and what are we talking about today?
Well, I am Lance Self, 1/3 of TRL Entertainment, Tracy Ryan Lance. We put together community events throughout the year, but the one that we're most known for is strictly R&B Park Jam. I also represent Ted Automotive Group. I've been with the company for 12 years. And what I'm wearing is Ted Automotive gear. With a couple of my awards months. Some some work gear, just some little bit at work,
All right. And I want to give a big shout out to Taylor Automotive too. For coming through. And I think that, man, I know Terry Crosby, and Terry Crosby is like the ambassador, community ambassador. He took a lot of heat from that because sometimes we just need somebody to hate. And Terry just happened to show up at the right time.
He's one of the recipients of the awards this year.
Right. And Taylor Automotive is different.
Yeah.
All right. And we've dealt with CSRN, we've dealt with community, we've dealt with corporate, and sometimes they only like us when they're having a sale.
Yeah.
Right? And Taylor is
all about the community.
This is different. All right. This is different. So Shout out to Taylor. Matter of fact, I think that we bought our last 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe our last 5 cars from Taylor too.
Well, I guess your sixth one, you know where to go for your sixth one, right?
Hey, look, I would not buy. Why am I sounding like I'm on a commercial? But all right, at this point, I really wouldn't want to buy anything other than a Hyundai or Kia.
So you know, you come to me now. You come on Central, you come holler at me now.
Yeah, I've had nothing but success.
I got you. But I was saying, Taylor Motor is definitely a great company. I've been with the company for 12 years. And one thing I always say, I can never talk down on this company because they have done so much for the community. Steve is all about community. He don't care black, white, green, purple. It don't matter. He's all about building and uplifting all communities. And I can't thank him enough for his support as well. You know?
All right. So I just wanted to go on the record of saying that, because sometimes that's something that you don't see.
Yeah.
All right. And you don't see that. And as of right now, he may be the only one that I've seen like that, to have that vibe. All right, bro. If we have the cookout, we'll save us. All right. Hey, all right. There's only one or two of them out there.
That is a fact.
Out there.
We can agree on that.
All right. Man, just rock with us for a little bit more.
Okay. I wanted about 3 minutes left. Sorry about that.
All right. I want to address the hip hop component.
Okay.
Which was liven things up. I was like right after Adina.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that hip hop component, and it seemed like a lot of the young people were vibing to that.
Yeah.
I have thoughts. Yeah.
I know what you mean, but I think it was still good because it allowed more people into the audience, especially the people that were waiting on.
Yeah. That's something that's going to be changed, correct? Because we still want to give everybody the experience that they come for, right? And we also don't want to block people from seeing it. So, it did its job.
Look, some of us I'm 61, and I really think that it just added a more lively thing to it, man. And however you want to scale it back or whatever. I'm just saying there's some things, there's an ebb and flow of things, and there's a time that they need a shot in the arm.
Yeah.
And if anything to give anybody a shot in the arm is Sexy Red. So
on the good side, I want to say it was awesome seeing Rob's accurate up there with the
I said what I said.
Again. I think it was awesome seeing Rob's accurate up there. To get the island vibe and everything. Good
man, he started off right too. It was a whole different vibe with the hip hop R&B-ish vibe with it. I love his performance. The energy was everything too. Talking about energy too. Sammy was great too. Did y'all catch Sammy out?
I did catch Sammy. I forgot that
Sammy was my favorite.
Yeah.
For sure.
So I'm just saying that you covered. Look, you covered.
My battery about to die. I don't want to say I miss it, but I got like 2% left on battery.
All right. Hey, listen. Would you be willing to come back at another time to just talk about what you do, and also your wife's got a business too that we wanted to highlight just to keep things moving, brother.
Yes.
We want to thank you.
Next week or any week, anytime you want us on, you just let me know.
Yes, sir. Brother Lance, thank you for joining us.
Thank y'all.
We love you too, brother.
Love you too.
We'll talk soon.
Be blessed.
Yes, sir. Man, look, that was our brother Lance Self. 2% left on his battery. Man, I don't even turn my phone on with 2%. So it was good to see my brother living on the life's edge with that. Hey, listen, we're going to take a short break, Jody. We're going to come back. We got to talk about the tank that was voted down at city council. The charges dropped on my brother.
Book bag giveaway.
Yeah, the book bag giveaway. And also this week's edition of the Final Call, there's a couple of articles in there that I wanted to kind of highlight. So when we come back, we're going to discuss those. Then we got to do some shout outs and concerns and top some loose ends. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
If you can ride a bike without falling, then you're good to go. Bike Rides Matter, it's a community bike group. We get together for fun, fitness, and fellowship. We ride weekly. Right now, we got a Tuesday ride where we ride on the UT Trail. We do Saturday right here at Uptown Green. That's our glow roll Saturday night. It was something I was already doing with my daughter, just riding bikes, and we just decided it would be cool to add the community because we were just finding ways to make fun given the situation. Being that everything was closed down and options were limited, bike riding is one of those things you can do without any restrictions.
You get to make new friends and just like interact with people, especially during COVID. You still like have your mask on and stuff, but it's still good to like see people.
It's a cool way to stay fit. We talk while we riding, we got music while we riding. I've met quite a few new friends and new people. I made some real cool connections throughout the city. Take advantage of the time you have. Take advantage of this pandemic. I know it's a lot of restrictions, but you can be creative and find new ways to have fun, one of which is this right here.
All right, we are back. We're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. Big shout out to TRL, Tracy, Ryan, and Lance for the park jam. We had put the flyer up there. I'm gonna put it up again because this was an amazing and well planned event.
Weekend.
Yeah, let me get it right. More than just that, we were gonna play the news. They had a story from the news regarding it, but hey, you should have been there. If not, they say they're going to have a lot of stuff going on next year. And also, want to shout out CSRN was a sponsor. So if you look on our screen right now, you'll see a picture of the electronic billboard with CSRN. Also, you see somebody's stick. They put a stick right there. All right. It'd be your own people. But anyway, that's a beautiful picture. CSRN was able to be a sponsor. And next year, maybe we'll talk about leveling up on our sponsorship.
Yeah.
All right. And maybe having more of those banners around.
Right.
All right.
Yeah. Put some of the defunder stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
In the park like Asa.
Yeah.
Shout out to Asa Spade, who had the park completely covered in his QR code and stuff for his current project he's got going on right now.
Right. So what I wanted to do right now, we wanted to cover a couple of things, and we may circle back next week and talk about these things too. One of the first things that I really wanted to talk about was we went to City Hall, I guess it was last week, regarding the Toledo Police Department, and John Hobbs wanted to get this used tank, MRAP, but it's a tank.
Mm-hmm.
It's an armored vehicle. It's a mine-resistant vehicle for the city of Toledo. So it's like getting a huge hunk of junk trash that's going to be it's going to be cost a lot to maintain, and plus we don't want it. So we had pulled up on them, I think in 2021, to let them know that we didn't want that. I think we did it before, maybe 2019 or 2020. Don't quote me, but it's not our first go around with this. But
we already got a Bearcat.
Right, we already got a Bearcat. All right, so we made our appeal the week before. Last week we came ready. However, what happened was John Hobbs had said that they want to do something different. They wanted to let people speak who never spoke before. Who's better to speak than the people that are prepared? We got off work early. We prepared something. We even brought some more information for our city council members so that they can have more information to make a better decision. But John Hobbs thought, well, let me get some new people. The first 6 people that spoke were miraculously were pro tank.
Yep.
And that was the police chief, the fire chief, who she appeared to not even, she wasn't even with it that day, but somehow they dragged her in to make her and made her do that. That's
accomplice.
Chris Peterson, and I'm just trying to call out everybody that I can. All right, Chris Peterson, who is a news person, a credible person, and they had her talk about it along with a few others. However, after that, I didn't get a chance to speak. I had some things to say, but the people that got a chance to talk did an even better job, Jody.
Yeah.
So that plan to have all of the loaded individuals talk first, and hopefully there will be less time for myself and others. All right. It failed. So let's give some shout outs to some people. Shout out to Teresa Gaddis, District 3. She voted no. I don't live in District 3, but I'm thinking about moving to District.
I live in District 3. I'm the ward chapter.
All right.
18 over there.
All right, good. I'm thinking about moving to District 3 just to vote for her. All right. Sam Meldon, District 5. He voted no. I guess I can't live in 2 places at the same time. So shout out to Sam Meldon. Matt Driscoll. Matt, brother, man, look. Great job. Yeah. He came out and also talked with us. Afterward.
And he admitted he wasn't on the committee, but after seeing the evidence and stuff, you see where his decision
absolutely was. Carrie Hartman, I think I saw her also at the Juneteenth parade, I think too.
Yep, Council President, I believe she is now.
Great job, Carrie. Great job. And also we need to send them some inbox and send them some emails since we flooded the emails. All right. Before with that other stuff, we need to flood them. Brittany Jones, Dr. Jones. I knew her before she was a doctor. And I always say that. It seemed like all my friends are getting smarter. I'm the only one that's not a doctor. But I also saw Brittany Jones at the African American parade. I shouted her out. We had the bullhorn, asking people to vote for her. Thank you, Brittany. Nick Comize, brother, look, much love and respect to you, to making sure that the right things, happen in the community, and that we get an opportunity to speak truth to power. Thank you, Nick. Thank you, Nick, for that. Thank you. And lastly, Cassandra McPherson. And if I mispronounced your first name, holler at me. My fault about that. At large. Thank you, Congressperson. Hey, that may be. Hey, all right, councilperson, right? Councilperson. McPherson. Thank you. Those who voted yes, you already know. We're not going to highlight them. We just want to highlight those that stood up.
Yep.
All right. So big shout out to them. All right. Big shout out. Next thing I wanted to highlight, and let me put up what were they trying to get? This is what they were trying to get. This is an MRAP. It's a tank. All right. They said that they weren't going to have guns on it. You know, I just don't trust the police hard if they, because
we've already seen a lot of their things were hypothetical. Or what if this? What if that? Well, we have what did happen. Not only in 2020, I believe there was a case in, what did they say, 2016 as well?
Yep.
So,
all right. Next thing I want to highlight is our brother Brandon Upchurch. We had stood up for brother when he was stopped for no reason. He was assaulted by the police department. They released the dog on him. And then they charged him with resisting arrest because the dog was biting him. All right. And recently they dropped the charges. We also wanted to highlight Brandon because hopefully within the next few weeks or so, we're going to launch our own civilian review board. And we'd like for people like Brandon to be a part of it because they have a story to tell. They have a testimony. And I also want to thank Brandon for holding it together throughout this time of being targeted by the Toledo Police Department and constantly being surveilled by the Toledo Police Department, you know. And I say that if they could follow him, we could follow them. You know, if we can have some sleepless nights, so can they. And shame on the Toledo Police Department. They were wrong. They should have apologized, and it should have been a done deal. All right, but they didn't. So too little, too late. And I'm glad that my brother got those charges dropped. I guess my last thing I want to highlight is Muhammad Masterman 91 and CSRN came together to have a book bag giveaway. That was on the 17th. We had a lot of stuff going on the 17th.
Yeah, Black August have been powerful.
Black August, yeah. And this is the month of Black August where we highlight Black businesses and just celebrate each other. And so we gave away over 100 book bags. There was a food demonstration. Sister Yvette gave a food demonstration. It did start raining, but we just took it inside.
Yep, I noticed that in live videos.
That's what's up. So, and thanks for everybody that chimed in and commented on those videos. That's what's up. And really, really appreciate all of the love that we got on there. And my last thing is this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. On the front, it says false promises amid global conflict. Family, a lot of us are being asked to vote and to vote for different people. But at the same time, there's a genocide that's happening and you're voting for genocide. You're voting for oppression. You're voting for tyranny. Vote your conscience. All right. But there's the center article talks about the genocide of the politicians, and it's a test for the whole of humanity. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan has a center article there. If you see some of the brothers this weekend with the Final Call newspaper, stop and get a Final Call newspaper. If you can't find a Final Call newspaper, go to finalcall.com and see most everything in the paper. I don't want to say for free, but I already said it. And also, if you want to support the Final Call newspaper and the Nation of Islam, go to digitalfinalcall.com and get your digital subscription as I have it, as we said earlier. And lastly, Jody, I want to shout out the African American Men's Wellness Day, or Black Men's Wellness Day. Why am I saying African American? Man, I've been sold all the way out. But anyway, anyway, it's the Black Men's Wellness Day. I keep calling it. Oh, that's the main organization that puts it on. But in Toledo, it's Black Men's Wellness Day. I rock with that. I identify as Black because Black is universal. That puts me in contact with the whole of humanity and our people. All right. But big shout out to the honorary chair, Carnell Smith. Also saw Dr. Romulus Durant there, and so many of my brothers that are serious about their health. We better be, because we want to stay here a lot longer. So that was an awesome event that I was attending earlier that morning. So August 17th was a big day for a lot of people. Jody, we're about to shut this down. I really need to hear about some of the things that was going on and that's happening from you. And then I think we'll shut it down with 5 minutes of heat.
Yep. So as always, I was remember and recognize things that happened previous to this week and everything like that. And then we're just going to jump forward into everything that's going on this week. So last week, if you were able to make it, besides all of the Park Jam stuff, just a couple of other things that were going on was the Chalk the Walk at 1904 Madison. If you don't know what that is a benefit that we come together. Actually, I did it doing it for the last couple of years. Last year, I drew like a 12-foot tree, one of my first times doing a giant mural in chalk for addiction and suicide prevention and domestic violence and all those things that we fall short of in humanity, to pick our brothers and sisters up and let them go into dark places without being there. You know, that's what those events are for.
That's right.
You can get resources like Narcan and everything like that and talk to somebody. Therapy is awesome. If you find your method. My therapy personally is art, but if you need a therapist or somebody to talk to, there's always somebody out there. You can, I believe it's dial, text, something 988. There is a national hotline and stuff for that. But that was going on. There was also the 10th annual Detroit Princess Riverboat fundraiser. Shout out to Danetta Carter. She's been doing that for 10 years now.
That's awesome.
Taking people out there on the Princess Riverboat and everything like that. So shout out to them. Of course, we already talked about everything else that could be talked about with the Park Jam and the Yoga Jam and after parties and stuff like that. Shout out to TRL, everybody involved, all of the artists and all of the attendees. There was no fights, no arguments. Nobody that had to be dragged out. And that, with, I would say, I want to say maybe 4 or 5, maybe 1,000 or more people were at that park at one time. So
that's right.
That is good communication. And also shout out to Black Men's Wellness Day and stuff that happened last week. So moving forward into this week, if you know of any events going on, stuff like that. First up, I know I'll be at, because I don't do as many pop-up shows and stuff like that as I used to, but I still try and keep loyal to some of the places that I started. In one of my very first vendor pop-ups, before it got called pop-up, vendor showcases, was at the Small Business Saturday. And this month, or actually this Saturday, we will be over at Ottawa Park. So if you can make it there, they are always free events. There's it is right there. So shout out to Danetta Carter again. It's going to be a great thing. I'll have my books, my stickers, my wristbands, my crystals, my hoodies, my hats, all the stuff that I create with the power of my right hand and imagination will be out there. Plus a whole bunch of vendors. If you missed them at the African American Festival, you will be able to see Mike Williams on sax again. So, and this time it's going to be free.
That's what's up. All right. You should have led with that. All right.
So hopefully to see you out there. Some other things going on are this Sunday is the grand opening of the Minority Way. It's basic at the Truth Art Gallery. So Minority Way, August 25th, 3 to 8 p.m. It's that's the plaza. If you are from that area, Bancroft and Franklin, that's where the old Y used to be. They moved it forward. So I'm not sure what happens to Inez Park now, but that was one of my childhood parks growing up. But that's being moved forward for the new YMCA. Well, yeah, is it YM? Yeah, YM, because I think we only have one YWCA, and that's downtown. But yeah, so go out there. I'm pretty sure there's going to be artists and a whole bunch of stuff because they always do it surrounding the art. So it says good day of fun. Also going on before we come back and see you is I don't have any other pending advice. So maybe I made somebody mad. No. But let me see what's in the downline of things going on in the city. It might just be a break on things.
Okay.
I mean, it has been a very busy August. I don't really see anything that anybody's invited me to. Maybe I've been to too much stuff.
Baby.
But if you know something that's good for the community and stuff, kind of think of it like the library. You can't post stuff that you got to pay for, but if you post it on our page or make one of us aware of it, we'll try and give you a shout out. If you got a 10, 20 second, 30-second commercial and you want to just, engage with a different type of audience, hit one of us up. Or hit the page up and we will try and do that. Also, if you want to be a guest and sit in my seat right here, to have your 15, 20 minutes of just your experience, what you do in the community, hit one of us up and we'd love to interview you on the show.
All right. Hey, listen, let's take a short break. We're going to come back with 5 minutes of heat.
Yeah.
Talk about our yard signs and how to contact us. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We'll be right back.
En esta hermosísima ciudad de Orlando.
I'm here in Barranquilla, Colombia, and in sunny Miami. Daytona Beach, mis amigos, that's where we're at today.
Desde la ciudad de Cartagena, Colombia.
We are in Orlando right now, here in Florida.
I'm Helene Sheets, Director of Marketing and Communications at beautiful Lourdes University, and we've been a proud sponsor and supporter of Voces Latinas TV for over a decade. It has been a fantastic partnership. It's been our doorway into the Latino community. We've met so many incredible people, created so many partnerships. Our students absolutely love the connections we've made through Voces Latinas TV, and we're looking forward to at least another decade, 2 decades.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. What we're going to do right now is let you know that, family, if you like what we do, we want you to subscribe to our YouTube, like, share, comment. Our YouTube is Community. It's a long name, but hey, once you get there, once you put it in and lock it in, you'll never have to type it in again. Community Solidarity Response Network. Go to YouTube. Go to our page, subscribe, hit the notifications so that whenever we're doing a podcast, you'll always be notified. If you want to get some of our Black Lives Matter signs, we have a few left of the Black Lives Matter signs. We have a few of the Defund Toledo PD signs. I'm going to put a couple out of my yard. All right. And if you want to support us, you can support us via Cash App, cash tag CSRN 419, PayPal CSRN 419. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, YouTube. We're trying to get at least 100,000 subscribers so that we get one of those plaques in the mail. And also, as soon as Jody gets back on X, formerly known, as soon as I get back on X, formerly known as Twitter, follow us there too. Jody, I think that probably is all that I need to. I'm scrolling down. I think we went over probably everything that we could possibly do. And also shout out to CSRN, which was one of the sponsors of the Strictly R&B Park Jam. Right there. You can't unsee that. It is what it is. All right. Everyone saw our name. And big once again, I had shout out to Jody for being everywhere at the same time and making that connection with TRL and Strictly R&B so that we could have our name up there. Were it not for you, that would not have happened because that was not on my things to do list. But I'm so glad that you did so that we could be an official part of that.
I would say for me, because I'm about to cross a decade into my independent career as an artist, it's a necessity. I've gotten to do some amazing things and met some amazing people. So if you in your career at some point in time aren't able to see the greatness in others, and you might be on the wrong path. And I think anything that's positive. Now, I ain't going to support the Sexy Red Show or LaGrange, but this was something that fits within the circle of artists and community that definitely needed to be highlighted. And I don't know places most people won't support it because they want the ratchet and all the other stuff. And I want to see good quality music put on by people who actually love and care about this city. I don't know what's going to happen Thursday. But at least for these brothers who, again, our awardees and stuff have already proven multiple times that we picked the right people. I haven't seen one of them, have to get in the lockup book or anything like that.
Don't jinx them, all right? And also, LaGrange be lit, even though it's past my bedtime.
Lit for different people, different reasons. I used to be that.
My God. Yay. All right.
Over a decade ago, I was the bouncer at the club, moving my glasses and throwing you out the door. And now I just, help people heal their hearts.
All right. So one of the ways that we close out is we just don't close out. We're just saying, see you later. Bye. Creative expression is a part of a lot of what we do. You can even see in how we put up a different backdrop each week, maybe some different signs in a different place or whatever. But art is a big part of CSRN because art is a part of the revolution. The revolution gets started with young people. It gets started with spoken word. It gets started with song. It gets started with dance. So we try to incorporate all of that into what we're doing. So as we close out, 5 Minutes of Heat, there was a song back in the late 80s or early 90s called 5 Minutes of Funk by Houdini. Shout out to both of those rappers for giving us good hip hop. All right. And we took that song, that title, and then just slipped in heat. All right. And every week we've been counting on Jody for the last 10 years to give us something. So when it comes to 5 Minutes of Heat, what do you have for us today?
Well, I just did my little scroll, and because I literally have hundreds, actually thousands of poems and stuff, but I have hundreds currently in this phone, so I don't have to run around with a book, and I don't have to always memorize something. There is a slam coming up with momentum. I don't know. I left in 2022 undefeated in slam poetry and stuff like that. I feel a little rusty, but half a stack might pull me back out of retirement.
All right.
either way, as I scrolled, and I'm just now looking at the title of this piece, the last time I read this was last October in Japan on the penthouse of a hotel in Ryogoku.
Okay.
So I think this is fitting. It's a piece called Long Puff.
Okay. All right. Hey, we done went from LaGrange to Long Puff. All right. Hey, Lance, Long Puff, and LaGrange. All right.
Hello, on this thing.
Let's get it.
Cannabis lovers. I just saw. Shout out to Ohio again. Slight side note and stuff. Just wait on it. You know, that 20 minutes might be awesome for those of you who know what I'm talking about. But you know, nothing.
I'm not one of them, but it's all good.
You gotta give stuff time, and then eventually prices and accommodations will be where they're supposed to. Let some people make some of their money back. But anyway,
all right.
This piece is called Long Puff. For those of my herbalists out there, it's not that type of thing. I actually like to mix titles with suggestive
he
terms.
scared me to death. I'm like, all right. I'm like, okay, all right, let's go.
But that's part of poetry and wordplay and everything like that. So
I'm down with that.
Let's begin. Peace. I'm probably the only poet that you'll ever hear say that too. Long Puff. Being self-aware. When I was younger, I used to think people came up to me to tell me things that they would never tell anyone else in their lifetime because they wanted to know more about me. As I've gotten older, traveled more, created more mistakes, and learned new lessons, I find I feel safe to people until I start talking about my trials and tribulations. Being self-aware, I understand I can't get angry or mad or heartbroken because I'm the person they're supposed to talk to get it out and possibly help them heal. Still trying to find my person. Being self-aware, understanding that the years of knowledge I gained from my mistakes is not meant for me to stand still to preach to somebody and what they're doing wrong. Being self-aware, I'm just going to be happy and not focus on the moments where I don't hear a response and listen very closely for those when I'm appreciated for being there. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. All right. This has been definitely a dynamite show with Lance Self of TRL and just talking about the Park Jam. It's been a dynamite week that we had 2 wins, the tank being voted down and Brandon Upchurch having the charges dropped, the book bag giveaway and everything else that we've done.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And you know, as always, all lives can't matter until
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until
all Black lives matter. Justice or else.
Peace.
Hey, yeah.